You know, if we want to see real progression in our community, then there's work on our side that we have to do, and there's progress that we have to make as individuals and collectively as a community before even we see like societal change. So for us as a community, we need to see more black head teachers, more black people in starting businesses, more black people in senior executive roles, directors, CEOs, you know, people making 100K, people making millions. If we want to see real progression over the next couple of decades, we need a couple of black billionaires. I'm not going to lie. So we actually have to be working towards that. And that needs to come in order for us to be in position of power, to build wealth and all these things as well. And that will address, you know, disparities that we see in society in terms of like racial wealth gaps and representation in society as well. So there's work on our side for us to be able to do.
It's man like Dan. Come on. Welcome to Melanated Proud. Today we've got a special guest. We've got a young man. His name's called JP. He's representing Young Black London. He's the founder. And obviously he's very innovative in it. And I just really rate the work he's doing. He's really about community. One thing he's passionate about success. And he's really just being brave. I know he likes to be behind the scenes, but what he's trying to do right now, he's actually trying to represent the brand and actually share his voice. Because I believe we've all got a story to tell. And it's not just the people with blue ticks. Everyday people like you and me have all got a story to tell in it, so that's why he's here. I feel like he's very knowledgeable, he's wise, and yeah, man, you're gonna see. I don't want to talk too much in it. Let him talk for himself in it. So honestly, rate what he's doing. And one thing I always believe, it's not a competition in it, and I feel like we got the same sort of visions. And I want him to really just say what's on his heart today, innit? So that's why it's here today. So your inspiration. I rate you. Keep doing your thing. You're exposing yourself more than me at the moment, innit? And I need to put myself on camera a bit more as well. So you know what? Round of applause for yourself. So thanks for coming on, innit? Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me, bro. I appreciate the invite, man. And what you've got going on and being a part of it.
Appreciate. But we'll get straight into it, innit? So obviously at the moment, as you know, a lot of people are focusing on success, achieving success. Everyone's trying to find a purpose. At the same time, it seems like it's a lot, innit? A lot of people are focusing on that as well, innit? But what's your thoughts on the frequency of like those sort of posts, those sort of videos, like the fact that everyone's talking about it? What's your thoughts? Is it a good thing, bad thing?
First of all, I even want to challenge you on that. Do you think everyone's doing that, or a lot of people are into it?
Good question, bruv.
Because there's definitely a lot going on, and sometimes I like to kind of look at the magnitude of it, kind of understand how far these kind of content is reaching by looking at the views and stuff like that. So you see some videos, a couple million there, other videos, not so much. And I feel like a big reason why I do what I do is because I don't see it enough. I feel like I don't feel it enough in our community and society in general, which is why I feel like a good initiative like Young Black London is actually needed. But there's a lot.
You know what? Yeah, so go on. I was thinking that people are talking about it. People are thinking about it. But people might become very overwhelmed by it, so they might block it out. And I feel like when it comes to success, people might only want to hear it for certain people. If you haven't done it, they don't want to hear it.
They don't, and you know, and that's what I had to battle with that in terms of even putting myself out there creating this kind of content, because I feel like people would look at it as, you know, who are you to kind of talk on this stuff? But you know what actually helped me? I saw a video of Gary Vee, and he was talking about just creating content in general, and he was just like, you're allowed to just be curious about a topic and create content on it. So I'm very curious about success and how it works. And I've been that way from a very young age. And in taking in and consuming all this content, I've understood there's a mindset to it. And there's even a science behind it. So that's what got me really intrigued. And then I just deep dived into personal development, motivational stuff, high performance stuff. And then that all just overlays with like business content, personal development, like all of it all kind of comes together. And then realistically, it's all just life. So you said everyone, you know, can chime in on the conversation because we're all living the same thing called life. And when people are even becoming successful, they become successful with the help of other people, working in teams. And even if it's getting money from other people, they need to connect to the people who are going to allow them to become successful. So it is all of us, and we're all kind of involved in it to different extents.
I agree, man, because like it's kind of like that imposter syndrome. It's like, who are you? Like, what have you done to be talking, innit? But these times, all you're doing is sharing information that you've learned. That's all you're doing. You're not saying that you've done it, but you're saying that I've researched certain people that have done it.
Yeah.
I'm developing this information. I want to use it, but I want you guys to use it too.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what you're doing, innit? And I don't blame people at the same time, innit? Because it's understandable. It's like you want to see someone that's actually done it, innit? But I don't think you should then dismiss what people are saying, because the people around you might be giving you like powerful advice, but you're just choosing not to take it because
definitely
they ain't a certain figure. And those certain figures that you listen to, they might be an expert in singing, but they're not an expert on life. Like for some reason, it's like we glorify people based on like their followers or their money, but they're only, if you think about it, they only have the expertise in a specific area. Let's say if it comes to making money, cool, I get it. If it comes to like how to sell your songs or like become a good singer, I get it. But now you're not the best expert on, let's say, politics, for example. But we listen to everyone, and that's essentially like higher than us in class, innit? But why? Like we're not doing the same sort of research like that. I think that's too, okay, I
feel like, as someone who's deep dived into personal development content, it really arose from just watching a whole lot of interviews and a whole lot of podcasts of successful people, from entertainers to sports people, athletes, and business people as well. I can tell you some of the best advice is stuff we've heard before in everyday life growing up. We've been told a lot of it. So it does come from people, from normal people in every walk of life. But there's just something about it coming from the successful guy that just hits a little bit better.
Yeah. Oh, it makes sense because you've been through the struggle.
He's done it. We can see he's seen success in that. Yeah. So I'm gonna listen to him to understand his particular story, how she went about it, the challenges that she faced, and how, like, where he came from and his story as well. It kind of just hits a little bit better.
But it's facts. Like, I'm not knocking those people that do that. Like that's important. Yeah. And even you're going to do that as well. But people are going to be able to document. So you'll document your journey. That's the difference. You're still going to get there, but you're showing people even the periods at which you're not even there yet, but you're still willing to share. But
that's where it makes it very valuable for young people as well, because you know a lot of the people who are quotation mark successful, it comes later in life. I heard something the other day that said that most people reach their financial peak in their 40s and 50s, and we need to like be realistic about that, you know. But as young people now, we're projecting forward and understanding that some of us are building towards success, and it's like, how do we do that? You know, working together, collaborating together, sharing what the resources that we have now. And some of us are going to get there. So we can even look around, look at the scope and people and actually say, okay, even from what we know now, like, how do we become successful? Some people are going to do that, and it's going to come from, you know, paying attention to certain things and behaving in certain ways. And we can see that and kind of just understand that. And we're just projecting forward to kind of get there. So how else are we going to go about it? We need to just be listening to everyone. And I just learned we have to be very open-minded. Because you can take from everyone at the lower level and at the top level, 100%, and just along the journey.
You got to be teachable spirit, man. Like, whether you're old, young, like, there's always something you can learn. Like, experience is a teacher. That's how I see it. It's like, so no matter who you are, I can learn from you. And I'm not going to look down upon you or think I'm better. Like, there's always something you can learn. Even people that are like 5 years old, like, I can still learn from you. Like, like, there's a lot. But first of all, let's define success, innit? Because I think success can look different for everyone. And I think that's also what the issue is.
Yes.
Everyone's expecting the same sort of, I don't know, the outcome. But success is different. Like, what is success?
I like to describe it in one word: happiness. If you get to a point where you are happy, or you're happy in something, happy with just the way your life is going, then you are successful. And that's different for everyone. You hit on the head there. Like, it is different for everyone. And this is why I feel like everyone needs to define it for themselves. But there's similarities within that. So I like to break it down to different areas. There's financial success, it's mental fitness, physical fitness, family and relationships, as well as just achievements, accolades, experiences. So when you break it down into all of those different areas, then you get the nuances, because some people want to be a millionaire, some people are good on, you know, the 30k, 50k that they can attain within the next few years. And you can't knock someone for that, because their lifestyle, where they've come from, what they're thinking, what they've been inspired by is different. They might not need so much in different areas. Some people are good with just, you know, 2 or 3 main friends and their family good. Some people trying to get, you know, the whole hood, everyone out the hood, you get me?
Yeah.
So it's different for everyone.
Yeah, no, I agree, man. I think I would define it as like achieving what you set out to do. So like you said, it can vary. But as long as you have defined what success looks like to you and you've now achieved it, you're successful. You complete your objective.
I like the way you put it.
That's
like
all it is. But like you said, it can be in different categories. So whether that's financially, relationship wise, spiritually, mental health, like whatever it is, like you've achieved it, because you can be a billionaire, but your relationship might be a failure.
And that's not success.
So you succeeded in the money aspects of things, but was you also looking for success in marriage, for example? Do you get what I mean? So like when we're aspiring to be like certain people, especially a lot of rich people, they're not so patterned on the other side of things. Maybe money, yeah, but all these other stuff, they got all these other habits. So do you want to master self-control? Like that's success as well. Like there's many other things that we can aim for. Pick things from each people and then try and mold it for yourself. But I think the starting point is finding out what success is for you. Because the issue is when you don't know and you look around and you see people doing their thing, yeah, man, you might start feeling overwhelmed. So in fact, that's what I want to start talking about now. Like, do you feel that social media has had a very like significant impact on our view of success and also the pressure that we feel?
Generally speaking, yes. We are a generation of people who grew up seeing the whole world. I can tell you what Bali looks like, never been there, but yeah, really, like visually, I could tell you about the clear blue waters and that. Yeah. And everyone looked at that saying, I want to feel that. I want to see that. I want to go there. And I get it, but there's you know, like there's a way you make that happen. You get me? You don't just go there, but we think a lot about like the rewards of success. That's why I like the way when you define success, you linked it straight to the work that has to be done. You have to achieve something to actually get that reward. But yeah, with social media, I think we can't deny that that's kind of just taking it to the next level. When we were younger, we just had MTV Cribs. You get me? That's to let us know about the big yards and that. So we say, okay, big yards and that. But now what social media has done, and I feel like I noticed it at an early age. I feel like the people who were showing like great lifestyles were obviously the very rich people. And I heard someone say that we've kind of just normalized the lifestyle of like the top 1%, made it seem like it's normal. But to an extent, it is accessible, but it is quite far at the same time. Yeah. And so I feel like that gap is what people don't understand. Like, do you really understand what a 100K lifestyle looks like? What £1 million lifestyle looks like? And understanding, okay, if you're saying you want these things and it's making you feel upset that you don't have that, then you need to understand like what's really required to achieve that lifestyle. So we have to be realistic and put 2 and 2 together. And when you do, I feel like that will take away any feelings of like overwhelm or comparison or feeling like you're missing out, feeling like you're not doing kind of what you're meant to be doing. So that's why for me, I like to encapsulate things by understanding the data and understanding the facts. If you understand that the average salary in the UK is only around £32,000, why do you expect to be living a lifestyle of an 80K person? And what does it take to kind of get that so then you can actually have the rewards of that 80K lifestyle, which is being able to travel there, being able to go there, being able to wear certain clothes, etc., etc. So, you know, people just shouldn't take it so negatively. It can be, but then even this comes back to the things that we do. Like, personally, I feel like you need to curate a social media experience that makes sense for you. So look at the pages which you're following and like review that, especially from a certain age. Like when we're at this age we're at now, I feel like people should have done that. Like cleared out some of the bollocks that you might have been looking at maybe when you was at 21, 22, 23 and kind of shift and sort that to actually create a social media experience that keeps you inspired, where you learn stuff, etc., etc. And that's I kind of saw that gap that was missing, and that's what kind of inspired me to do what I do.
No, it makes sense, man. Like comparison, man. That's like as the saying goes, it's the thief of joy in it. Like it's the worst thing to do, man, because we all got different starting points. And so someone getting property, someone, I don't know, like getting a business, or I don't know, making it pro as a footballer, like whatever it is, like you can't compare your situation to them, innit, because you don't know what their starting point was, innit. And when it comes to like success again, you might be screaming or feeling so upset when that vision was not even yours in the first place. You're just upset that they have it and you don't. You didn't even want a car that bad. You didn't want a house that bad. If you did, you probably would have acted differently. That dream just started today when you saw it on Instagram. Like,
yeah.
But I feel like the fact that we're in other people's business, it's like it affects our lives as well, because deep it, without social media without phones, we wouldn't know what anyone else is doing.
Yeah.
Without deep it, unless you have a conversation with someone, we don't know what's going on in their life. So that even gives you peace of mind.
One thing I did recently on my Snapchat, every week someone's on holiday, bro. So it just makes it look like everyone's on holiday.
I can imagine that.
I ain't travelled in like a year or so, like making me feel like, oh, wow, I should be going on holiday. How's everyone else affording to go on holiday? You don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
You don't know the behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I mean, my man deserves it. He's been working hard.
Yeah.
Do you get me? And then I just need to do my thing and say, make it make sense for me. Do you get me? And that's where we do need to focus on ourselves, but it's a bit of both.
I'm saying it's based on what you consume now, because like you said, you just went on your phone and then you felt that way. You didn't feel that way before. But that has now made you feel the type of way. And I don't know, if part of me feels like it's intentional, but at the same time, you can make social media work for yourself, innit, based on what you follow and so on. But you can't dismiss it because it's still possible, even if you was just to hear it from your friend or see it on LinkedIn or whatever. Like you were saying, actually, I wanted to speak about that because you were saying how there's a point of time where you saw I don't know, certain people like progressing on LinkedIn, and then you just reflected on your own sort of circumstances.
Yeah, we were talking about that offline. That was good though. For me, that was inspirational. I jumped into LinkedIn like last year. Really like deep dived and got back on it, cleaned up my profile and stuff, and was looking for jobs, applying for jobs. And my network on there is still quite black, so I've seen like a lot of young black people who I've gone to university with in the wider network. And at this age, everyone's kind of coming out of their entry level graduate roles and moving into other positions, senior positions. So I've seen this person do that person working for that company. I was like, I was loving it. I was quite inspired by it. Some people, it could make you think, look back at yourself and make you feel a bit negatively. But this is where I feel like you just have to rationalize things. Because what I did was I was looking at the people and I was looking at, you can go on there and see their CV for the past few years. They've been doing their thing. They've been making progression. That's why they're getting these rewards that ensue from that. So just have to be inspired. For me, and you seeing people say, past 5 years, I just want to thank Tom and Lucy in this job, and I'm moving on into my next role, blah, 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 blah. You're saying, okay, they've learned, they're doing their thing, they're stepping up, and this is the natural progression we want to see from people, So LinkedIn is quite good. It's quite positive. Gives a very positive vibe. It's professional as well. So I would definitely encourage everyone to get on LinkedIn, be inspired, share your stuff as well, and then continue on this personal development, professional development journey.
You know what? You made a good point, because like comparison can be used for good as well, depending on how you use it. Like, so seeing someone else doing everything, you might be like, okay, cool. That's an example that I can follow. Like, okay, I can now strive for something similar. What are they doing that is working for them? So like, you can just actually think to yourself, okay, cool, that's nice, I rate it. But I feel like instantly people might feel a type of way, like whether it's jealousy, I don't know what it is, but how can we find a way to make it work for us? Because it's in our face, whether we like it or not. So it's like, okay, cool, this person doing this thing, I'm not going to hate, I'm going to rate it. In fact, I'm going to maybe do a bit more research. I might even chat to the person, see how you've done it. That person might want to help you, they might not, but there's someone else. So like, just focus on yourself, that's what I would say. But it's not easy, 100%. And when you think about us right now, like, we're not exactly, okay, I wouldn't say I've made it what I want to achieve in life, but I'm en route. And so I guess people are getting a raw experience and a raw conversation. So like, when you think about your experience so far in life, what would you say your journey has been like, and what sort of challenges have you been through on the road to like achieving that sort of success?
Fairly smooth, I haven't had like many big bumps on the road, but I feel like I've just rode it if I have. Yeah. Naturally, there were mountains to climb. Even something as simple as graduating university. Hey, that was a challenge.
Yeah, no, speak on that, man. Because like, I feel like even with university, not many people speak about how it was really like. It's like, okay, people might make YouTube videos on like, I don't know, just those group conversations
to watch out for going to university,
introduction stuff, or like back now talk about parties, all that type of stuff. But
and
no one actually talks about these sort of things. Because like, if it wasn't necessarily the best experience for you, or people need to be more prepared, how's that knowledge being passed down? Because I think that's one of my issues, that we're not sharing enough knowledge like with each other, because a lot of cycles can avoid being repeated if you actually gave the knowledge in it. So even with the experience you've gone through, that's enough to share.
So I would break it down into 3 main areas: social experience, the academia, of course, and even the financial aspect of it. Those are probably the 3 areas that you can go into and talk about challenges. Socially, I was okay. I think I was very prepared for university.
Okay, cool.
Even with like, because some people wasn't, and you could see it. You got there, you could see it, and it's funny that at age 18, we're just left to just go out, no parents, and just go do our thing. Like a lot of us move away from university. So I went to university in Birmingham.
Okay.
You know, so that was good. I went Aston University, very good,
Business,
like dynamics and stuff. Yeah, it's got a good reputation for business and stuff as well, and the science side of things as well. So I studied engineering. Campus university in the middle of a city, so you got the campus feel, you got the big city feel. I'm a city boy at heart, so that was cool for me. Dropped down, and I was just ready to just kind of just vibes with people, you know, find my way around and do my thing. So like socially, I was okay. There wasn't really many challenges there, but other people, like, you know, social challenges, even just keeping yourself, like managing your own shopping, managing your own money, managing your own time, like little things like that, making new friends, like just getting to grips with a whole new city. For some people that can bring challenges. The academia side of things, I mean, if you're trying to do well in university, like it should be a challenge. It shouldn't be easy. You get me? But you go from being spoon-fed a lot in school and university to like it's on you. You have to wake yourself up and get to lectures. Even that's a challenge for people. That's one thing I say I did well, actually. With like all the things that can hold you back in university, I was like, nah. The least I can do is go to all my lectures.
Yeah,
like,
come you on. Pay like 9K, bro.
Come on, bro. That was on my mind first year. I said, £9,000. I said, no. And I was caught out because only like 2 years before that they increased the fees. So that made it more of a thing for us. I'm like, yo, let me go get my money's worth and go to these lectures and like talk to these lecturers and like make friends with the smart kids who sit at the front and that, like all of that. And there were challenges, certain modules I didn't do too well on. I even had to reset certain exams. That became a challenge in and of itself. But in the end, got there, crossed the line, and I'm just I thank God, really. Yeah,
man. I remember you said something about a laptop as well.
I remember first year uni, I didn't even have a laptop.
That's mad. So
if I wanted to like study on my own, I had to get up and go library. You know, luckily, like one of my other friends, like he would always just come with me. And that kind of held me back. So there's that kind of technological gap, and that leads into the financial side of things. And that's something a lot of people in our community even struggle with. I might even know I needed one going into uni. And I'm on the phone to my dad like, Dad, I can't lie, I need a laptop. It's only like towards the end of first year, like he blessed me. He gave me like £300 and I had to go to, I still have it to this day actually, still going strong. Go into Curry's PC World, whichever one. Had something that gave me everything I needed, and just carried on from there, and that really helped things.
But see what you done there, like you focused on what you had. You wasn't comparing yourself to other people, like because you didn't have a laptop, innit? But what do I have? What can I do with it? How can it work for me?
Yeah.
That's what it was, innit?
I didn't let that bring me down. Yeah, like, come on, man.
Yeah, but it could have.
Oh, definitely, definitely.
Like, and no one can mock you for that if it did. It's understandable. But you had a different approach in that moment, so that was good. And
that even came from that kind of realization recently came from understanding or hearing the facts that 70% of young black people don't have the technology required or at the level to actually be able to excel academically. And we see that a lot in universities.
So when you think about like after university as well, like for you, was it smooth getting a job or did you have to?
Not at all. Not at all. And I didn't anticipate that. That actually caught me off guard. I was thinking, oh yeah, a big man like me graduating and that. Come on. Throw out their CVs and see what they're saying. Like, who wants me, guys? Didn't go like that at all. You know, I did 4 years straight, did my masters. I wanted to take some time off. I didn't have something patterned up straight after uni. Some people do. You know, maybe they did a year in industry. They can talk with that company and say, you know, upon graduation, you can have a job there. Some people, final year, they're applying, they got a job lined up. Me, I didn't have that. 4 years straight, I needed a break. I said that summer, taking the summer off. September, I started applying for jobs. See what happens. September, applying for jobs. Not hearing much back. Okay. October, not hearing much back. Like November, still, I'm going from like plan A to plan B to plan C. Like plan A was like the job that I wanted, the companies, the A-list companies and that. And I'm like, okay, maybe like, you know, pull the bar down a bit. After that, applying. Still not hearing too much back.
Like, this is a bit mad. This is a bit mad. I have to work for free.
Not hearing nothing back and that. I'm thinking, where's the interviews? Carried on. Got to a point where man's even just like yard. Do you get me? mum and dad coming home from work and just seeing man just there in the living room and that pajamas and that, thinking,
She's going to uni and you're here, man. The whole point's to go. They're here.
Do you get me? But that was a natural part of the process, because when you talk around the network, a lot of people are experiencing like that.
Yeah.
Not everyone just had it straight,
Yeah.
bro. I know people who even up to now they haven't got like a graduate level job. Do you get me?
Yeah.
Because I think there's a misunderstanding in regards to university, where people feel like a uni degree sets you up for a good job. You're lucky if it sets you up for a job. Do you get me? Let alone a good one. Do you get me? And I feel like people need to understand that what you get from university is a qualification and knowledge that you need to package and build upon for the rest of your career. It's going to take you somewhere over the next 2-3 years. Like, it's not meant to be guaranteed to just put you somewhere. Yeah. So, the month since you'd after that, just got myself a calm job, you know, parents apply pressure, you just need to start making peas in it. Did that. I got the one job I knew I could get just like that, which for me was just a bar job, innit? I remember sitting there one day after my dad had a conversation with me. Just opened up like 20 tabs on Indeed.com. Just applied through my CV to like all of them. And then got like 4 interviews from that. And then from there got 3 jobs and just worked all 3 of them jobs. One was like a full-time, other were part-time, and just doing that just to supplement myself. Just grinding. And interestingly enough, that led me into my first graduate level role. So I'm now working on a bar. Different people kind of see me. This is up in Central. I'm in Canary Wharf. And then, you know, I'm working on this bar, a couple African aunties, a couple Eastern Europeans and that Turkish man who was shouting and that. And then obviously I just stood out because I'm just me in it. I'm just there on the bar. I'm just talking with people and that. And actually people just asking me, so what are you doing, like working here and that? So obviously graduated and that, just, you know, and myself out and then having couple conversations. One woman just took a liking to me and she ended up just being a director, high-level executive at a very big financial firm. And within weeks, just got me a contract working at that firm. And that started my whole like graduate career from there.
Oh, that's big, man. I got clap for that.
Thank you.
Because you know what? People don't speak enough about that jump from graduating to getting a job. Because a lot of people, they might go away from the field completely. Not because they don't like it, because they gave up. And the reality is, like you said, sometimes it's a journey. And like, the qualification just means, okay, cool, you're qualified, but you still need to work, innit, to make sure you get the job, because it's not going to come in a plate still, innit? And for some people, it might take years, but you still have to believe. Like, if that was initially your dream, don't give up. But fair enough, you don't want to do it, cool. But if that's your dream and you're giving up because it's hard, then unfortunately, it's not going to work out for you, innit? You might get other jobs, yes, but deep down, you'll still be upset. And what you did, you kept persisting, because you could easily give up. Obviously, you wasn't expecting it to pan out that way, but through your persistence, at least get a job, be working, still be positive minded, like, you were still available through your work ethic. That's what presents the opportunity. Like, it's the belief, man. And when you don't have belief, you don't have nothing in it. Like, belief leads to like victory, innit? And doubt or negative thinking, that leads to failure, innit? So like, at least you had belief in it and persistence. So all of those things that you said now, I'm even taking from you. I'm like, okay, cool, perseverance, keep pushing. Like, you don't know how the future's gonna pan out, but those traits you still need. And that's what I've seen leads to success in other people, innit? All right. So, do you think you know your why? Like, why you want to achieve success? Like, what is your why? What is the reason why you want to achieve it?
A few different reasons. My main thing is just because it's possible. And I've never really heard anyone else put it like that. My favorite rapper from young always said, "Get rich or die trying." You know, obviously not literally, but and I think from like a young age, I was actually kind of just like, wait, what else am I going to wake up every day and do? Might as well get rich. Like, do you get me? But for me, it's not even just about money. I just see it as a challenge. And it's like, if the challenge is there, why not? Why not just think big? Why not have high aspirations? If you actually just can. And what's required in achieving that is just putting in the work. Just go for it.
Do you think you know your why? Like, because sometimes you don't know your why. Because getting there is one thing. What are you gonna do when you're actually there, when you've got the money? Because then, if you haven't got a why, that's not gonna last, or you're not gonna be happy, innit? Because the why keeps you going. So maybe a thing for you is actually think about, okay, cool, I'm gonna get there, but I need to start thinking about what I'm gonna do when I get there.
See, the whole conversation about why is so necessary, because there needs to be like a deeper drive, because it's not simple.
I'm saying that's surface. You can easily change your mind, but if you're like, okay, cool, I wanna, I don't know, build this in the end of the day, and I need this amount of money to do that, or I want to help people do, like, whatever it is, you don't have to gas it and be like, yeah, cool, I want to give money to everyone. You don't have to gas like that, but you still need to know what your why is, innit? Because, like you said, that's a deeper drive that won't go from you. Once you know your why, no one can tell you nothing, innit? Because you know why you're doing it.
And you need to do self-evaluation and a lot of self-reflection. I feel like to even get that, because you need to know who you are right now, what's led you to becoming that, and then from there you can kind of project forward and kind of understand like a path and direction to go to, and that's what that why kind of gives you. For me, looking at myself, come from an engineering background, I still work in engineering at the moment. Like, science and technology has always fascinated me. I've always been very curious just about learning, and engineering is applied science, so you apply the understanding and knowings of the world to actually do some stuff. So when I understand that, like, that's the kind of direction I wanted to go in, I kind of define my why as just wanting to make the world a better place.
Right, fair enough, man. So you know your why. You know your why, and it's important, man. Like, because, for example, even doing this, like, I could easily just be like, oh, this is long, man, but I know why I want to do this, innit? Because, like, it's not done before. Also, I see the need in it, and so, like, you have to choose something that has the why that's going to keep you going, innit? Because if you just focus on other than money, etc., like, it's not big enough, man. Like, we think that's the big goal, but honestly, it's deeper than that, man. Because I've seen certain people that say, nah, man, like, this isn't it. Like, there's more to it. Like, the money actually isn't going to give you the happiness. Like, so you need to know what happiness looks like for you. Like, what are you going to be satisfied with? Because you will get there, 100% you'll get there. But start thinking about how it's going to look like, innit?
Even further to that, like, happiness, success. We talked about like different facets of that. I feel like this is where fulfillment comes in, and that's where you really feel like happy and successful, because it's success in all of those different areas.
100%.
And that's hard. If you've just got the money, it won't be enough. Like, we've heard about people being rich and upset. What's that? What's that about? I heard someone say money only solves money problems. You know? And they even say more money, more problems.
Yeah.
A wise man once said that.
Yeah.
And so there has to be more to it.
Mm.
There has to be that why and that driver. It has to be more than just the money. And lastly, just on that point, I heard someone say, that my dad said this to me. He said, making money is the result of success, the end result of success.
Yeah.
If you pattern up success properly, you'll have peace. You know, some people haven't done that. They've got 100K followers and they're still living paycheck to paycheck, or they got no money. Whereas you can have 100K followers and know how to pattern that up.
Yeah.
Then with that success of getting the 100K followers through whatever work that you've done, you've now got the peas. With the peas, hopefully you can solve your money problems.
Exactly.
And then from there have time and energy to put towards other areas of your life.
Doesn't mean the goal shouldn't be the money. It shouldn't be the followers. It's what you're going to do. So those things just allow you to do what you need to do. So that audience allows you to, let's say, make the bigger impact. That money allows you to purchase or do whatever you need to do in it. But that can't be the main goal.
I heard a man say recently, he's like, people say money doesn't make you happy. He's like, then people who feel like that, they haven't given enough money away. You're not working your money in the right ways. It can't just be the money. You know, if you have £1 million, you can do a lot with that will make you happy. A lot with that, not just like personal materialistic things, even if it's just like volunteer work or helping out members of your family, stuff like that. That's what will give you real fulfillment. And it has to be like that. I don't know, I can't think of any other way it would be.
No, that's a good point, man. Earlier, you were speaking about there not being a lot of representation, or people not necessarily like seeming like they're thinking about success, innit? But do you think there's actually no representation, or like there's not enough mentors that have like achieved success and are sharing, or do you think we're just not seeking for it?
Oh, that's a good question. It's a bit of both, maybe. But we're lucky. We live in a time where there's a lot of that some of these online speakers and content creators are my mentors, whether they know it or not. Eric Thomas, that's my guy. Yeah, he's my mentor. Jim Rohn, Patrick Bet David, all of these guys, like they are mentors to me, but that's only because I've gone and sought them out. You know, so there's two sides to it. It would be very great if a lot more people who have seen success in different areas came out and told their story. But we understand the process of doing that is long. You know, you're going to have to put yourself out there. You have to get over that. Then we're talking about actually whether it's creating content, putting out media, writing your book, wherever it is. And that's on top of everything else going on in your life. So it's kind of understandable, but it's more accessible for people to do that. And now it's more accessible for people to reach it as well. So it's a bit of both. If we're looking at, society in general, you know, like I was saying, if you look at the magnitude of it, some of these videos do get 1 million views. So people kind of are looking at it, but it's like, to what extent are you? And then it's, you know, you can be motivated and inspired. Then the next step is actually doing the work.
But that's a whole. But don't you see it as like, we're almost like relying on other people to be present? Like, they have to bring to our attention. They have to be on YouTube. They have to be Instagram. Like, I don't see enough. I don't see it. Oh, where are they? But we're not taking accountability and be like, let me find them. Like, obviously, I'm a Christian, innit? So, like, as you sit, you'll find, innit? Like, that's genuinely what I believe in it. So, like, you have to search for it. But at the moment, a lot of people are relying on other people to do the work for them. And I think that, in a way, it's kind of like an excuse as well. Like, we always wanting things on the plate for us. Because we can find it, man. Are we going around to, like, try to chat to people? Are we looking at a certain demographic, like, whether it's, like, I don't know, like, young, hip, whatever, or are we looking at that proper elderly people and actually chatting to them about life? You'll be surprised what they've achieved in their life, you know, before they got the walking stick. Like, they could be doing bits. Like, you don't know.
They're willing to share at that point.
They might have people they know.
Because generally speaking, we do look at the wrong people. And probably this is why people think we need to be further in life. Because at this age, we're focused on, like, entertainment and media and stuff, sports. And that's in those industries, you see a lot of young people making money. So we think, it might be normal to be 25 years old and having a certain amount of money, 30 years old and having the car and house and stuff. But in the wider context of life and society, is that true? No. So we need to understand from all facets and all walks of life, like, what does success look like for that? What does it look like for you? If you're a young lady and you're working in finance, like, how does that career go? If you need to understand, you know, you're going to hit your financial peak in your 40s and 50s. Don't be expecting to be at a certain place by the time you're 30. And if you do want to do that, understand the extra things or the other things you can do to get you there. You know what I'm saying? Going back to the point I was making earlier, you have to rationalize it and make it make sense for yourself, rather than just getting a small scope of the whole realisticness of it and making that make you upset. We have to do our research. There's an abundance of information, an abundance of data out there. Like, we have to actually go through it and then understand what we need and tailor it to ourselves.
Really good point. Like, we're looking at the wrong people. And that's why, honestly, that's part of why I'm even doing this. Because, like, I just want to bring people like yourself and other people that have stuff to give in it. Like, the people that they see online aren't the only people. Like, there's so many people that have got a story to tell, or advice or wisdom to share in it, but you're just not choosing to hear it.
Do you think everyone learns that point, though?
Pardon?
Do you think everyone really learns that point by this age about how you can learn a lot from other people? Because I learned that through personal experience. Like I was saying earlier, I did a lot of bar work when I was younger. And with bar work, I was forced to talk to people all the time. And that really opened my mind to know that everyone can teach you something. You can learn something from everyone on this whole planet. Everyone on this planet can tell you a fact about life that you don't know.
Yeah.
And give you a perspective that you've never understood. And I don't think everyone gets the opportunity to do that. So luckily, I was blessed with that. And I heard someone say, like, another point even further to that. Even, like, if you stay in one country your whole life, it's like reading one page of a book. But there's so much more out there in the world. And then you can just apply that to whether in your town, in your particular tribe, your community, in the city you live in. There's just more out there for you to know and understand that you can apply to your life and then be inspired by.
Because when you deeply, like, what is wisdom? What is knowledge? Like, what is it actually? Like, what is information? So all you need to do is grab information from different people. That in itself makes you more wise, more knowledgeable. Just through doing that. All these books are written based on people. Like, people like you and me, like, just all around the world, like you said. You just jotting down information from everyone you've spoken to, you can write a book on it. I promise you.
Yeah.
I promise you.
Yeah.
That will be like a bestseller. I promise you. Because it's facts.
It's
facts. One thing that there's a clip that I think I've seen that you've liked it. I don't know if you remember it.
Okay.
I don't know the guy's name yet, but he basically spoke about meaning versus happiness. Don't know if it rings a bell. Do you remember it?
It might have been Alex Hormozy.
Possibly, yeah. But either way, he was saying how like those people that constantly strive for happiness, they won't get it because like if you really think about it, happiness is temporary. It's not really like a real goal. But when you're doing something for meaning, then you achieve it, and the happiness can come from it as well. But you know when people say I just want to be happy, and like happiness is an emotion. Emotions are temporary, man. Up and down along the journey. So the moment that you reach a point where you're feeling sad, or you're feeling worried, you're feeling sad, like, and happiness isn't there, you can easily stop pursuing what you're doing. But when the meaning is there, kind of like what I was saying to you about the why in it, like that's what he was saying that is more effective rather than just focusing on happiness. But yeah, I thought you remembered it. But if not, me in it.
Well, I consume a lot, man. I try to share as much as I can, but I consume a lot. But one thing I've learned from a lot of these things and deep diving into personal development, especially, is that a lot of people repeat the same stuff. Or even if it's not the same stuff, the principles.
It's the same. No, it's the same stuff.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah. Okay.
It's the same stuff, just different voice.
Yeah, yeah. And people put their own kind of spin on it. But I like to just take away the principles from things. The principles are more applicable in general for everyone, and then everyone can put their personal spin on it, and or just plug in the holes for and the nuances that they need for themselves, and how to make it make sense for themselves, so they can actually take value from it.
No, that's facts, man. Let's talk about Young Black London. Come on. Like, tell us about it, innit? Tell us a bit more. So what made you start it? Like, what is the actual brand about?
From previous media projects I'd worked on, I kind of had an understanding of the back end of social media. So when it came to the point where I kind of just had an idea, I heard someone say the other day that a lot of authors write books that they needed themselves. So I kind of feel like Young Black London did the same thing.
That's so mad, because like even doing this, like I need it more than the people that
That's how it goes, bro.
I pick you people for a reason, because like I'm soaking information more for myself. Like after legit, I'll play it for myself, bro. Like everything you're saying is valuable to me, and I need that. So whether someone can appreciate it or not, I appreciate it. I need it. So I have to create content I need.
That's just it. Young Black London, I see it as an online magazine. You follow to kind of jump into the experience and to keep along with what's going on. Quality content coming out every day on our story, on our feed, and it's a curation of posts from business to career to personal development. I like to just encapsulate it as a scope of just motivational, inspirational, and educational content. So both curated and created. Recently, I've started creating content as well. So it's like media and research, a lot of informative stuff. But as well as that, it's got like a Afrocentric vibe to it, definitely. I feel like we need it in our community. Just a lot of progressive content and just progressive things that people can take value from different walks of life.
No, I read it, man. I read it because like that's going against the grain in comparison to the majority of the stuff that's out there. To push out stuff that's positive and not necessarily as popular. That is a challenge in itself, but you're willing to still just push it in it because you know the value and the benefits can have on other people. So
yeah, and I feel like everyone can take value from it because like going back to what I was saying about curating a social media experience for yourself and for all of us, you can have like the sports stuff there, you can have like the meme pages there, but if you want like one platform where they're just putting out business and personal development and career stuff, like why not just add that to the mix as well? Like people could use that, so why not create a platform for people to do that? And I can see it evolving into the main thing I get from doing this is just building a community of like-minded people, and being able to network with the right kind of people. And it's interesting that I can put out content and gravitate those people towards me. And the aim really over the next few months is to build a community, build a platform where we can share resources. So, on a day-to-day basis, YouTube videos, podcasts, videos that you come across on business, personal development, careers, motivational videos, all of this kind of stuff, we can just share it. So I'm launching a Discord soon, so we can just have conversations and all these stuff. Like, what were the takeaways that you took from it? 'Cause you can deep dive in some of these things, bro. Some of my business playlists it's just gold, fam. I can't even lie. And I want more people to talk to these things about and then execute on this information and see what we can do together over the next 5 to 10 years.
That's big, man. That's big. I rate it, man.
But you know what I don't like?
What?
Why is that so big? Why isn't it normal? Why isn't it already there? That annoys me. And I had to do it. So why not?
If you want to see change, be the change, innit? As
That's
they say.
it. I deep that recently, bro. We have to be the change we want to see.
Yeah.
To
Because
get
you
to
might
the
feel
future
so
we want.
strongly about it because that's actually what you're meant to do. You can't expect other people to do what you're supposed to do, innit? Like, there's a reason why you're passionate about certain things and people aren't. Because maybe that's just your calling. Now, maybe that's what you're meant to do, innit? But yeah, man, no, it's really good. What platforms are you on?
Instagram mainly, LinkedIn, and TikTok as well. That just gives me like a good enough scope and reach to just reach as many people. I definitely want it to go more down like the professional route, so that's why I'm on LinkedIn. But a lot of people on Insta love it as well. Yeah, it's like my main social media platform that I use. Okay, that's where we connected as well.
Yeah, exactly, and that's how I saw your content because it was good. And what's the username? Because you haven't said that yet. Like I did it to the description anyway, innit? But just for the audio listeners, innit?
It's Young Black London. Okay. That kind of gives the perspective that the scope of content kind of comes from. I want to promote people who look like us, giving us the knowledge so we can actually see, we do it as well. Because I'm inspired. Do you know, I was watching this podcast. This was like during lockdown. Social Proof podcast, and he interviews like a lot of business people.
I think I've seen one of his videos,
a lot of black business people especially, and that really inspired me. I was like, wow. I was even shocked how much it inspired me to see a lot of people look like me giving knowledge on every single area, from investing in property, investing in finance, all sorts of businesses, from healthcare to like car rentals, like everything, and being successful in it. And I was like, right, this is the side of America, black Americans that they don't show us, you know, and that really inspired me. And I was like, I'm very inspired to have high aspirations. I feel like I don't see and feel that enough from other people. Let me share some of the inspiration that comes my way. Let me create a platform that just shares that as well. I'm sharing these resources. I can take value from it. You can take value from it. And that's just what I want for people.
Anthony O'Neill, he's a good one as well. I don't know if you've seen the videos, but he's a good one. Like, that's what I'm saying. There's people out there. So like, you know, when people say how, we need this. I don't see it. It's there. Maybe it's not many people doing it, but you just haven't come across them.
So and that's what I kind of deeped, and I was just like, okay, let me push all of this stuff a bit more so I can get more reach, so more people are inspired by it, and they can go on to do great things.
Because, for example, people might assume that there's no one in London doing their thing or trying to help the community. All those lazy comments, man. Like, it's lazy comments because no one's looking. No one's looking.
Too much. So like, you're doing your thing, and I'm like, guys, listen. Like, these podcasts are not having valuable conversations. We are. Like we're here doing this. Do you get me? But you do kind of have to look for it, because in a way, for some strange reason, it's not normal. Or doesn't get the traction that it deserves. And I want it to be a lot more in the forefront, especially for our community. We want to see progression in our community as well.
Yeah, because it's really influenced by what you consume, innit? So change the supply, innit? Be the supply. And that's what we can do, innit? And it's going to be hard because obviously you're going against the other grain of like content, but it doesn't matter, innit? Because it'll still stand out. There'll still be people that be willing to hear, innit? So don't be fussed about views and all them type of things. That, listen, focus on that one person first, innit? As long as that one person like receives information and impacts it, that's all that matters, innit? Because you've changed one life, innit? And so that's what you're doing already. So just keep doing it, man.
Thank you, bro.
So yeah, it even brings me on to like one of my other questions is like, what would you say are the positive things you're seeing in the black community when it comes to like success? Because yeah, man, we always focus on the negative side. Let's actually shed light on what's going well, isn't it? Because like, a lot of things are going well. I'm seeing a lot of change. I'm seeing a lot of initiatives, a lot of groups. Like, I'll shout out a few tech ones that I've seen, like Foundervine, Black Girls in Tech. There's so many. Zentos. There's loads.
I see a lot of graduates, further to what I was saying earlier, kind of progressing in their careers. Which is really good and quite inspirational. We see a lot of individuals kind of coming out now who have had success in businesses as well. See a lot of people, building personal brands as well in all different kinds of niches. And generally speaking, it's beautiful to see.
No, that's good.
Nothing bare in particular, but I want to see it more. But we're seeing it coming up over, especially people from our generation. That's kind of what I expected to see. What was very interesting was, from a young age, I was always very optimistic about black British people of our generation. I couldn't wait to see what we was going to be like when we grew up, you know. And I felt like we were special. I could really feel it. But what was interesting was, a few years ago, that kind of changed, because I feel like I wasn't seeing it to the extent that I needed to. But off recent, that's kind of flipped back to being very optimistic again, because I'm seeing it now a bit more, and it's kind of understandable because over the past 5 years, you know, we've graduated and just figuring things out. So now we've got the ball rolling, and I just expect over the next 5 to 10 years to see some amazing stuff.
No, that's true, man. Like, a lot of changes is happening, and you've seen some. So I think it's important to focus on what you're seeing, innit? Rather than focusing on the past. Like, what can you see now that's changing? Again, it comes down to mindset. Like, what are we choosing to focus on? Because if you focus on the positive things, then that's going to make you feel a bit more encouraged, innit? But if you focus on a lot of the negative stuff, you're going to feel the same way, innit? Feel discouraged. And back to what I was saying before, I feel like we've got the duty to actually find those people that have the knowledge, actually seek them, go to events, do all these other stuff. Like, stop the mentality where it's like, oh, I need to see them now. Like, where are they? Oh, no one's doing anything. I can't believe it. Like, go there. Like, legit, just go there and you'll see people, because people are doing it. Like, think about how many people are in this world. Like, how many people in this country, this city. Like, people are doing their thing, innit?
Even if it's a 1%, that's a few thousand people. And like, we need to actually come together. Yeah. I'm lucky. I'm grateful that over the past few months and past year or so, I've been going to a few networking events, and I've realised, and that's where the like-minded people are. Yeah, like you can't expect. Yeah, it's weird that in life that even like your own people, friends, and family are all going to be on the same wavelength as you. Even like, I mean, bro, like your own friends don't even all study the same subjects that you studied at university. Do you get me? Everyone's kind of doing their own thing. So if you want your people, you have to go out and find them. That's what I'm realising.
It's facts, man. It's facts. Like, one last thing I would want to say as well is that we need to focus more on repetition rather than focusing on the large, huge steps.
What do you mean by that?
Because repetition leads to the success. It's all about the consistency, the small habits, and repeating those small habits. Then you do it. It's not like, okay, I need to go from 0 to 100. Like, let me do something, whether it's, even if it was just like making your bed every day, do that for a week, 2 weeks, a month. Then move on to something else, innit? Maybe let me clean my room every week. Like, move on to the next thing. Like, don't go from 0 to 100. Like, because I feel like people so focused on making those big changes. When you ask someone, or you bring something to someone's attention, and they realize that change needs to occur, why is it that everyone's focus is then externally? Like, oh, let me go buy something. Let me change something to my parents. Like, because they should be thinking about internal change. But the truth is, internal change is the hardest. So always focus on something externally, but internal change will take time. But you've got to focus on a small percentage and work on that, innit? Like, so stuff like consistency is hard to achieve, bro. But it's easy to then, I don't know, say you're gonna go to the gym and then buy gym wear, etc. Like, act like you've actually done your thing. But these times you're probably gonna stop in a month anyway. But to get consistency, to actually do gym consistently, that's gonna take time, innit? So how can you get those transferable skills elsewhere as well?
The fact that you even mentioned all that shows that you're into this personal development stuff. Like,
no, 100%. I love it, man.
Yeah. No, me too as well. That's what makes success. And you mentioned a few different things there: habits, consistency, and even just the mindset. I heard someone say recently, and it's really encapsulated it beautifully, was that we need to be aggressively patient. Aggressive to be on it every single day, but patient to understand the progress is going to come slowly. You know, just like, it's funny, like, why are certain things so hard, even just to make your bed every day? Why is it hard to be consistent? Like, and we need to understand we can't just switch it on and just start today and just boom. It doesn't work like that. You know, life kind of gets in the way, emotions gets in the way, challenges come. You know, but just staying steadfast on the right journey and understanding what you're trying to achieve, and that it's gonna take time and you slowly build up to it. That's just the science of it.
Because those skills there, consistency, patience, because you need that, work ethic, all those things is what will lead you to the main goal, innit? But we honestly think about other stuff. Okay, let me, I don't know, start a YouTube, or like just external stuff, innit? Rather than working on your character, because it's your character that will lead you to that goal.
That's a bar.
Yeah, man. My last question to you though is like, just final words of encouragement for your brothers and sisters, innit? So like, it doesn't have to be everything that we've discussed right now. It could be anything that's on your heart, innit? So like, what's on your heart that you wanna just say to your brothers and sisters, innit, as a form of encouragement?
I would say, just kind of keep it on topic with kind of what our brands, like the bigger purpose, what our brands are on, and just kind of wanting to see progression and elevation in our community, especially, is that, I want to see and feel it more from people. You know, if we want to see real progression in our community, then there's work on our side that we have to do. and there's progress that we have to make as individuals and collectively as a community before even we see that societal change. So for us as a community, we need to see more black head teachers, more black people in starting businesses, more black people in senior executive roles, directors, CEOs, you know, people making 100K, people making millions. If you want to see real progression over the next couple of decades, we need a couple of black billionaires. I'm not going to lie. So we actually have to be working towards that. And that needs to come in order for us to be in position of power, to build wealth and all these things as well. And that will address, you know, disparities that we see in society in terms of like racial wealth gaps and representation in society as well. So there's work on our side for us to be able to do.
I want to hear encouragement as well.
Encouragement?
Yeah.
You can do it, guys.
Yes, that's why I like it. You can do it.
We can. That's the thing. Yeah, we just need to put in the work.
Yeah.
Man. We can actually do it.
That's what I'm saying.
Because what else are we going to do?
Yeah.
Because the maddest thing is if we don't, then we're just going to be in the same position. So we can do it and we slightly have to as well. And we'll see it, man. I'm like I said now, I'm optimistic about, I've been optimistic about what we can do as a community, and I know that we can achieve great things, and I just want to see it.
Yeah, no, honestly,
I'm excited to see it.
It's gonna happen, man.
Yeah,
thanks for coming on, though. Everyone, please follow Young Black London on Instagram.
Young Black London, all
LinkedIn.
one word. Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok.
He's there.
And join our Discord, which will be launching soon as well. So just keep up with us, and you'll see when things are coming. I've got loads of ideas in terms of content, collaborations, partnerships. So there's a lot more that we can do. So I'm looking forward to it, man.
Yeah. So honestly, keep doing your thing.
Thank you.
Onwards and upwards. You're just at the beginning stages.
Yeah.
Wish you all the best. We'll definitely probably collaborate in the future as well.
Yeah, but we need a part two. We didn't even touch on everything.
I know.
So I'll be back.
Yeah.
And you keep doing your thing as well, bro. I loved your brand from the moment I saw it. Even just the name and everything, what you've been doing, the conversations you've been having. So keep doing your thing, bro.
Appreciate it, man. So like, honestly, support him because he needs it. Give him the encouragement that he needs. Write in the comments how this conversation's made you feel in it. Don't stay silent, because like this is still character building for us as well, innit? Let him know if the message has touched you in any shape or form. Want to connect with him, speak with him.
DMs are open.
Yeah. So we'll leave it there. Subscribe, like that, all of that. Share it to people that you think could do this video as well.